Bum, ba-da-dum. Why is that so sad sounding? Well, that's because it's a minor chord. We went from a G major to a G minor, which has a different feeling, different emotion, right? And that's what we're going to work on today, is learning our minor chords, not only our minor shapes, because we do that in another lesson where we work on the closed shapes. This is about the open minors. Okay, so changing our open G major chord to a G minor chord, or from our open C major chord to a C minor chord. And it's important not only to learn the shapes that we're using, but the theory behind it, like what makes a minor chord. So we'll cover that as well, and then we'll apply it by playing some songs using these minor chords and talk about the common minor chords that we'll often find in popular songs. If you're watching this here on the website, banjobenclark.com, you've got the chord chart that you need to download. It's got all of the chords that we've learned in this course so far, along with the minor ones that we're going to cover today. If you're watching somewhere else, I'd love to have you on board. As a Gold Pick member on the site, you get hundreds of lessons and tabs and MP3s, not only for mandolin, but for banjo and guitar. I give you special deals in the general store and all kinds of other stuff. So come over there, join banjoben.com. You can go check it out. All right, let's jump into this one. It's about a 20, 25-minute lesson on learning these minor chords, and I'll help us remember them and begin to apply them too. Now that we've learned a lot of our major chords and open positions, that just means we're using open strings to help us make the chords, like G, C, D, A, and E. We're going to now focus on some minor chords. But beyond just learning the shapes of the minor chords, I think it's good for us to understand the theory behind it. How do we get a minor chord? Because I'm not always going to be there for you to ask, and you may want to find a different minor chord than what we're going to cover today. Now, you've already run into some of this theory if you've been following the beginner learning track, but let me just remind you a little bit about chords. Our major chord is made up of 3 notes, and it's the first, third, and fifth scale notes in that major scale. So let's take G, for example. You can go do my G major scale study to learn how to play that, but that's our G major scale. So to make a G major chord, we're going to take the first, third, and fifth notes of that and play it all together. So there's the first, and if we count up 2, 3, this note, and then count up 4, 5. So if we were to play this note, and this note, all together, that would be a major scale. And that's what we do whenever we play our G major open chord like this. Now, it's not in the same order, but the notes are all there. We have our G, D, B, and G. So we've got our first tone of the scale, fifth tone of the scale, third tone of the scale, just an octave higher, and then our first tone again. Okay, so what makes it minor? What makes a major turn to minor? Well, there's really a simple answer to that. That's taking the third tone, all right, or the middle note of the chord, and dropping it 1/2 step. So let's go back to the scale concept. Let's just take the first 5 notes of the G major scale. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If we take that third note and we drop it 1/2 step, that's going to turn it into a minor scale. You hear the difference? It sounds sad all of a sudden, doesn't it? So major, minor. And since we were pulling from that third tone of the scale to make our major chord, we're going to do the same thing with minor, except it's going to be 1 fret back. Okay, so that's going to allow you to find minor chords wherever you're at. Now let's put it into practice in our next video segment by taking some of these major chords. We'll start with G and finding where their minors are quite easily. Stranger, to the D minor, through, back to the A minor. This world alone